Thank you very much for staying here on Joy News Desk with me, Kamini Nyamani Amano. In our first story, police at Nungwa here in Accra are holding 2 young people in custody after they escaped mob violence. Community members threatened to lynch the boys after they were caught allegedly engaging in occultism. Kwete Nati has more in the following report.
There was chaos as scores of residents marched these 2 boys to the residence of the Nungwa Wulomo for engaging in occultism. There has been an increasing use of black magic by many teenagers in Nungwa. Those who have been caught in the past have been subjected to public lashing and so-called purification at the hands of the chief priest in the area. The 2 young people, aged 14 and 20, who were caught on Wednesday, are the lucky ones. DSP Patience Akwete is Nungwa District Police Commander.
They are not digging grave. If authorities want to sideline how people are handling gods, that's traditional authorities' business. Police have no business with idols, with gods, with traditionalists. That's our business. Our interest is to make sure the boys are not beaten.
The police, in the company of the traditional authorities, led the boys to their shrine, which was located near a cemetery at the Nungwa beach. The traditional leaders say they are not backing down and insist the boys need to be punished. Niboy Moji is an elder in the palace of Nungwa.
If they leave them in this Nungwa here, they all will die. They will kill all of them. That's the reason why we seek the police, support. Fine. This morning, we came here to inform the police that we have to do tradition for them. We have to sit at the town, what do you call it, the square, for everybody to sit down so that the Wulomo will have to say, you small boy, like 17-year-old, you are having a voodoo or juju to kill someone, and where did you get it from? We have to get it from the source. So we are trying to get everything from the from the grassroots, and now police is telling us that they don't have evidence that the people are stealing something or they are taking something from someone, and they cannot hold them in their custodies. So the tradition to take whatever they have to do, and we also pleading with them that whatever is happening there, when they leave those guys, they might be killed.
For now, the 2 young people are in police custody, and officers say they will only be released into the safe arms of their parents. For Joy News, Kwete Nati reporting from Nungwa.
Let's talk about this story over the next few minutes. We have been joined over the telephone by Professor Kojo Gavwa, who's an Associate Professor of Archaeology and Heritage Studies at the University of Ghana, Legon. He's also a Pan-Africanist. Professor Gavwa, what do you make of this story?
Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, the line was very faint when the story was being replayed. But if I can get the gist of it, is about 2 young men who apparently are following the indigenous religion, and they have been arrested and accused of practicing occultism. And I think that is the essence of the whole story.
Indeed, these young people were taken into custody for their own safety because the people in the neighborhood where they live say because of the occultism they practice, they fear for their own lives and wanted to lynch these boys for practicing occultism. The traditional body there is also saying, look, we need to perform special rites of purification for these boys so they can live in the community peacefully, because they go back into time, sometime in 1980s, a similar incident happened and people started dying in the area and they don't want it repeating itself. Bizarre story, if you ask me. What do you think about it?
Thank you. This borders on superstition and belief system. There can be no proof that the action or inaction of these young men would lead to any disasters in the community. If something is happening within a particular community, no one can definitely attribute it to the religious beliefs and practices of any particular group of people or an individual, unless the majority of the people have a particular kind of view that people who practice such religions invoke bad omen. I think that we are taking religiosity too far. In the first place, is there any evidence that the boys have actually, through their action, fomented any calamity or affected anybody negatively in the community? If there is a fact that the practical things they do is leading to theft, or the boys have stolen somebody's property, or they have poisoned somebody, or have killed somebody, that will be criminal action, and for that matter, the authorities can take them to book.
But you see, Prof,
But if there's nothing like that, then we should think about freedom of religion. And everybody is free to believe in whatever he or she wishes to believe in. I don't think...
Including
yes,
those children.
Including children. Everybody has the right to worship. Children worship. Why do we take children to Sunday school? Why do we allow children to go to Sunday school? Why do we allow children to go to the mosque? Okay? And not the indigenous religion.
Professor, for the police, the police seems to occupy a very tricky spot over here. They have the option of releasing these children to their parents. Traditional authorities, on the other hand, are saying, look, bring these children to us. Because even if you leave the children and give them to their parents, they could still die in this community. Let us purify these children, appease the gods on behalf of these children. What are you expecting the police to do?
Well, what I would expect the police to do is to do what they are trained to do. That is to protect the society and protect the citizens, protect the rights of these two children. If they release these two children and any member of the community decides to take the law into his or her own hands, the police have to deal with that person according to the law. Now, if the parents or the traditional authorities also do same, okay, contrary to the rights of the children, the police would have to invoke the laws of our land. What I'm saying is this: there is no evidence that these children have affected anybody negatively, criminally, or otherwise through their actions. They believe that this is what will take them to heaven, and they are practicing it. Now, if anybody chances upon them and finds some materials in their possession, and they are not stolen goods, and they are not things that they are not human parts, or any other thing that suggests criminality, I don't see why we should take the matter so far, unless the majority of the people in the community say, well, by our belief system, by our speculation, this by our superstition.
But Professor,
this can, yes.
that is what it seems to be. These people who are traditional worshippers and the entire community over there say, look, we're afraid of these boys because they wield some powers we can't deal with in the community. So indeed, people...
My sister, let me explain to you. We are getting to a level where individuals are now acting on behalf of God and thinking that they are the only people who understand how religion should be or what religion should be like. Okay, in the indigenous religious system, I don't, just like in Christianity or Islam, I don't think anybody or a group of people can say this is the right way to go to heaven or this is the heaven. Everybody is trying to preach, but they say not until you get there. You never know whether you are right or wrong. So the traditional authorities cannot claim that, yes, the practices of these young men enjoins them to exorcise them or to perform rites because of their practice. Aren't there other people in the Nungwa community who are followers of the indigenous religion? Aren't there other shrines? And the thing is, apart from communal deities,
Professor,
people have individual deities as well. And these young men seem to have their individual deities that they are worshiping.
It is actually those shrines who are asking that these boys special rites be performed for these boys to be able to live peacefully in the Nungwa community?
Why? Do they have any evidence that the worship of the boys is affecting the indigenous system?
Because obviously the gods of the area are unhappy about it.
How do they know?
Because they have consulted the gods.
No. How would you know that the gods? You see, those deities are media through which people reach the Almighty God. And if they say the shrines are the gods, the deities are angry, have they said this through priestesses or priests, or the authorities just think that the gods are angry? You remember some time ago, we even heard that because of the action of an artist or actress leading a group of people, the gods are angry. Okay? How can we be acting or talking on behalf of God that there's no proof? You get me? These things border on belief systems. I think that we are taking it too far, and we are using the situation to enhance the status of some people, or some people want to capitalize on it, okay, make social capital out of it and say, yes, our deities, our gods are really angry because two young men are practicing what they think is will take them to heaven or their belief system. And we must be careful to not trump over people's personal beliefs and rights.
Which includes minors, I believe.
In religion, there's nothing like a minor or an adult. It's a belief system.
Very well.
That's what I mean.
Very well. We'll never hear Professor Gavua. Professor Akojo Gavua is an associate professor of archaeology and heritage studies, and he's also a Pan-Africanist. Now, we've been discussing how two boys caught allegedly engaged in occultism nearly lynched in the Nungwa area. We've been asking the question whether it's a case of human rights abuse or indeed the traditional authorities, including, the custodians of the gods of the land, have a case to prove in wanting to purify the gods, purify the boys at the town square. Mind you, these boys are aged 14 and 17. Clearly, they are minors. We'll be discussing the story further in subsequent broadcasts. But let's talk about skin. And in recent times, there has been high demand for skin lightening products on the Ghanaian market. This has caused flooding of the market with various brands of skin lightening creams, including counterfeit ones. Skin lightening creams have a content of hydroquinone, which health experts say has a negative effect on the human skin after prolonged use. However, the Food and Drugs Authority at the Stakeholders Forum on Combating Counterfeit Products in WHO has announced its intention to ban any skin lightening product containing hydroquinone on the Ghanaian market in 2016. Now, according to the FDA, outlets that would deal in such products will be prosecuted. The head of communications, James Latte, noted that the FDA, as of now, allows only 2% of the chemical in any cream.
When it comes to skin lightening products, currently, FDA allows 2% of hydroquinone that it can be in it. But from 2016, that is, I think, August, all skin lightening products are supposed to be hydroquinone free, meaning that 0% hydroquinone, and this is going to be enforced from next year.
Now, according to the FDA, it has observed that most media houses have neglected this regulation and are advertising unapproved and counterfeit products. The Food and Drugs Authority is partnering with the Ghana Police Service to apprehend and prosecute those media institutions that would flout the FDA's regulations relating to pharmaceutical, drugs, food and alcoholic products advertisement here in the country. However, the FDA has entreated all media houses to request for a commercial or advert approval certificate for any products intended to air on their airwaves.
Before any media station advertises any of the products that FDA regulates, we expect that you demand from the advertiser whether the approval has been given for the advertisement. If you don't see any approval given by the FDA, you don't have to go ahead in advertising the person. Yeah, because the law says that when it comes to products that we regulate. All we are telling the media house is that demand from the person that an approval is given before you air it. So nobody is like, no media station should air, but air the approved advertisement. That's what the media is saying.
Listen attention to Bimbila because some teachers and students in Nanum, in the Nanumba North District of the Northern Region and other peace networks in the area appealing to the government and the Ministry of the Interior to consider the impact of a curfew imposed on the area. Now, according to them, the curfew hours of 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. has greatly affected students and other businesses as well as farming activities.
Realize that there is something that has affected basically everybody. Everybody within the nooks and crannies of the town has been affected. Even some of our brothers who are closer to us but don't live in town are also affected as well. I talk of our farmers, our students, and everybody. Come to look at this. Most farmers wake up as early as 5 p.m. to their farms. Currently, as we speak, most of their farms are under the mercy of the weeds. Because of this 4 a.m. 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. curfew. Students sometimes move to their schools for remedial classes. As a result of this particular curfew imposed on the good people of England, those students are badly affected as well. Generally, everybody within the town is affected as far as this particular curfew is concerned.
I look at things since the imposition of this curfew, in fact, it has affected everything in the district. You know, market women who normally sell their medicine items from morning to the evening, they are now selling from morning to at least 3 o'clock p.m. And most of them, it is the night where they normally make heavy sellings, you understand? So, look at this issue and review the game so that everything will be back to normal.
We have trading and so on and so forth. So on the part of education, you realize that when students go to school, teachers, most especially who are teaching at late, they will always go to school late and then they close very early.
We have not been able to learn as students, and most of us here, not all the things we learn in class that we know, and we have formed group studies that they can help us, those who know what we don't know, they can help us to study, but due to this case that has just occurred, we can't come together as students to study.
Some of us, we can't just take in to just enter at once. We just have to sit for a long time before you learn everything you enter. And this case, you have even caused a point that even human beings have to go and see what animals are outside. And there's no sense in it. I think the government should just do something. It should just show the people that, oh, this is the power he contains and this is what he can do.
The Minerals Commission is calling for restraint following a violent attack by youth-owned mining firm Persis based in Ayamfori in the central region. The youth in the area believe the company is behind the arrest of 15 of their colleagues for mining on its concession. Police at Ayamfori have been on high alert to avert reprisal after military men shot one person in an attempt to quell a mob attack. Though the residents claim their mining activities are illegal, the company disputes it. Edwin Akwe is General Manager, Corporate Affairs for Persis.
It is time for us to apply the rule of law. It's time for us to encourage our people to abide by law of the country. And so I will appeal to them to just exit restraint and not go forcibly taking over any portion of a ground that has been granted legitimately by government to them. Once Persis has finished the drilling, they are not even mining. They are just trying to test to see the viability of that particular portion. And Persis has told me that if they find that place not too viable, they are likely to give that portion back for their peace. But until they have done that, it is wrong for it to just go in there and conduct any activity other than what Persis wants to do.
You have small-scale operations. It means that you have got license from the Minerals Commission to operate operate. And if you have a license from the Minerals Commission to operate in a defined area, who would prevent you from doing that? Basically, what's been happening for some time is that there are some people within the community who carry out illegal mining activities in an area within our concession, and they want to forcibly take over an area within the mine concession, which you know that the laws of this country frowns upon.
Well, in a bit, we should get the latest on the story on the ground following the clash between the small-scale miners and mining firm persons. But in the meantime, let's go to the Volta region. Many pupils in the Keta constituency are also entangled in the difficulty of reading and understanding the English language. Over the years, the candidates in the Keta municipality have performed poorly in the BECE. In this regard, the Member of Parliament for the Keta constituency, Richard Kwashiga, has taken an initiative to improve reading skills in his constituency. He tells us how.
Many pupils in the Keta constituency are also entangled in the difficulty of reading and understanding the English language. Over the years, the pupils in the Keta municipality have performed poorly in the BECE. In this regard, the MP for the constituency, Richard Kwashiga, has taken an initiative to improve reading skills among the pupils.
I came up with this idea of a reading, spelling, and writing competition. Using the prescribed GES reading material for the junior business schools, which is the Cockroach. Following that, I have distributed 25 copies of the Cockroach to all the business schools within my jurisdiction. That's the 37 business schools within the Keta constituency. The teachers and the pupils were given some time, as it were, to prepare. And so they have come today to really read and for us to be able to see if there's some improvement in their reading capacity and all. This is to serve as a motivation to other young people within the Keta constituency.
The maiden reading competition was based on a prescribed GES English textbook titled The Cockroach. 37 basic schools participated. Over 900 copies of the Cockroach have been distributed to all 37 basic schools in the Keta constituency, alongside a complimentary teacher's guide for each school. The MP for the area also outlined efforts to deal with challenges hindering delivery of quality education in the area.
There's another project that I'll be launching very soon, which is IT-based, which is to get the young ones from the primary schools and the GHS, to be taken through some IT program. That will be rolling that out soon, and that since the world has become a technologically based world, there will be the need for our young people right from the scratch to understand what technology is all about, the use of the computers, and then how to navigate on the internet and all.
The MP also intends to introduce an ICT program to enhance pupils' chances of fitting in the global village.
You're watching Joy News Desk. There's more to come here on the program. Don't go away.